Hey everyone, welcome back to Sgcarmart. So you're joining me here in Italy on a cold and damp morning. Now, typically when we head overseas, it's to drive a brand new car. This time around though, I'm not driving a brand new car. In fact, I'm not even driving a new car. Yes, I'll be driving some pre-owned cars. But these aren't just any pre-owned cars, because the cars I'll be driving are Ferraris. The truth is that while a spanking brand new car will give you the latest in terms of performance, features and technology, for a lot of drivers, their automotive journey probably begins with a pre-owned car. That's true if you're buying your first compact hatchback, and that could also be true if you're buying your first supercar. And the logic behind it is simple. It's probably the more financially practical route to begin with, and that's just a very nice way of saying that buying a pre-owned car in most cases is just cheaper.
Ferrari Approved is the brand's official pre-owned certification program that preserves the originality of each vehicle. It's available to cars up to 15 years after the first date of registration and effectively helps to cover any car till its 16th year on the road. It includes a series of wide-ranging checks and guarantees from the Maranello factory, including detailed technical inspection by Ferrari technicians, including 201 individual checks. Defective parts are repaired or replaced. Verification of origin and maintenance history to provide full transparency. Pre-sale preparation of exteriors and interiors. Ferrari warranty up to 24 months in Europe, USA, Middle East and China, 12 months in the rest of the world. Ferrari roadside assistance up to 24 months in Europe and 12 months in the rest of the world. One important thing Ferrari wants to deliver is the same high level of performance regardless the age of the car.
So today I'm going to be driving a bunch of these pre-owned cars both on the public roads and on the Fiorano racetrack, and to get a taste of that pre-owned experience. So we start first with the Ferrari Roma. For some context, this car started production in 2019, and in fact production has already ended, so you couldn't get one of these brand new. And in many ways the Roma is the entry to the Ferrari brand, right? This is in some ways the so-called baby Ferrari, and it's designed for city driving in some ways. You know, it's more of an everyday car, and honestly now driving it in some of these smaller, tighter city roads, this is probably the car that you want, right? So I'm just gonna go over a bump right now and, you know, not to worry about things like your ground clearance. The car is not super wide, it's not super huge, so it's a very manageable footprint in that sense. Now, how does it feel? So this has 9,300 km on the clock. Does it feel like a brand new car? I'll be very honest, it does. Again, 9,000 is not a ton of mileage, and obviously this is coming straight from the Ferrari factory, so it's very, very well taken care of. There's a little bit of wear in some of the heavy touch points, like here on the steering wheel. You can see that, you know, many thumbs have been put here. But other than that, it's still in very, very good condition, and you expect nothing less of not just a Ferrari, but you know, any Ferrari, right? These aren't heavily used cars, so you're not going to see a ton of wear and tear. Now, another thing to think about is mileage. So, you know, when it comes to pre-owned cars, people often consider mileage as a big factor to, you know, maybe think about how much the car has gone through, you know, how hard of a life it's had. For a Ferrari, that's maybe not quite that big of an issue, right? Just for some context, I was just looking on the website for the Ferrari dealer, and there is a 2017 488 listed. So that's an 8-year-old car with 28,000 km on the clock. That just gives you an indication of the fact that these cars, you know, they are used, but they're not used that hard. Okay, so we're done with the morning road drive, and now we're gonna head out to the track. And these are the cars that we're gonna be driving. So 296, 296, 296, and just behind these 296 we have quite the monstrous car. So this is an SF90 with almost 1,000 brake horsepower. The good thing is that the sun has come out, so the track has dried, so we are gonna have quite a good amount of traction. It's really cold and wet this morning, so the earlier session they were saying that it was quite a damp track. Luckily for us, it has dried out. So strapped into the SF90, it has almost 1000 brake horsepower. I'm not sure this is the best car to start, but then again, this does have kind of all-wheel drive. You know, it has 2 electric motors at the front, so there's torque vectoring, so hopefully it helps. But let's go see what we can do here. Okay, so I've done a few laps in this car, and what can I tell you? Firstly, it has, what, 986 brake horsepower. So it's really quick in a straight line, but you know, that's not really surprising, right? I think what's really impressive is how effectively it can deploy that power. So this is a slow corner. Foot down, my foot is flat down in the car. I mean, the car is flattering you. Honestly, it's probably making me able to drive a lot faster than I should be able to, considering this has almost 1000 brake horsepower. But you know, that's that front axle torque vectoring doing its work, right? So again, slowish corner. It just stays where you want it to stay, and you can be quite angry and aggressive on the throttle. And you know, this is quite a big car. This is, all things considered, quite a heavy car, but you obviously are not going to feel it on a track like this. Firstly, it has almost 1000 brake horsepower, so that helps do a lot to deal with the heft that you have to deal with. But I think really what's incredible is how effectively this car can deploy all that performance, and that's technology for you.
Okay, cool, perfect. So we can put that in the proper moment.
Just nice.
Okay, so we park back where we started, on left side over there. Look at him. Don't stay too much on the left, or you're not able to go. Okay.
Alright, so we've now jumped in the 296. This is a 296 GTS, and let's look at the clock, 4,374. So basically pretty much a brand new car. But it's not, and that's the whole point. While it's got less performance, I'm not sure it's any less intimidating. In fact, I think it might be a little bit more, because that has kind of all-wheel drive. This sends 800 and something brake horsepower to the rear wheels, and that's a lot. That's a lot. Okay, so a couple of laps in the 296, and what can I tell you? It feels like a totally different car. In some ways, this feels more like a normal sports car, and because it kind of is designed to be, right? It's mid-engine, rear-wheel drive. Yes, it's got a lot of power, but it's one of those where you can rotate the car on the throttle, you can rotate the car on the brakes. It's not quite as brutal as the SF90. It doesn't do as much for you, I feel. You kind of have to drive it properly, but it's still incredibly quick, and it's very responsive as well. And you know, it's quite a different experience altogether. You know, and ultimately, yes, this car has over 800 brake horsepower. It's going to be really quick in a straight line, but where it really feels lively and it feels interesting and it feels exciting is when you're going through the corners. And it's really a very responsive car to what you're trying to do. So yes, that's my time here in Italy. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've learned a little bit more about Ferrari Approved. Do remember to like, share and subscribe to our channel, and of course you can also hit the notification bell to be alerted of all our upcoming videos, and you can also check us out on TikTok at Sgcarmart. So that's my time here done. I'll see you back home. Bye!